crap, they gave us an 800-year-old lowly dragon. I'm so excited for this. So I want to talk about Alencia, the controversial unit of the year. She's just been a whirlwind of emotions and just apologies from Smilegate and all these other things. So let's get into this. Hi guys, my name's Hikaru. I've been playing gacha games since about 2012. I was a top player in a game called Fantastica. I also was a top player in a game called Age of Ishtaria. And I speak Japanese, and on my channel I'm hoping to mix all of these things together and give you guys probably one of the most hilarious experiences you've ever had. Now the topic of today is Alencia, and my Alencia is on screen. She's 5-star max. I have her at plus 10, so I put some Oligor in her. I actually got her on release, so I was awake at like 3-4 in the morning, just really excited, waiting. So I ended up actually getting a refund. For those of you who are interested, I got a refund of 305 bookmarks. Now her stats are still lacking in my opinion. Hopefully I can get that HP at a bare minimum of 20k and that defense of about 1200, and I hope to get her on a counter set. So I'm starting out with the Euphine side story, and for me personally, I think that Alencia has quite a bit to offer, but the thing is, she lacks in the damage department. Probably, I believe if I'm not mistaken, the second lowest in the game, and that's pretty sad. She's right behind Zeno, and the thing is, I believe she was made more so for those long fights that you need something steady, you need that small little edge on your opponent. And I think that Mind's Eye on her S2 as her passive and that S1 defense break of 75% is probably what they were aiming for. As I said earlier, I think a counter set's way better on her. So let me just paint you a quick little picture. Imagine on screen right now, if one of my units got attacked, let's just say Blaze Dingo, then we have Alencia, you know, going in with the S1 with the counter set and then getting a defense break. Now, since that unit that she attacked had passed their turn, now their combat readiness is back at 0. So now the rest of my team, who's also faster than the opponent, by the way, you know, we have that entire turn to just rail and go in and go in and go in. Now, keep in mind, I am talking in terms of PvE experiences. For PvP, most people are just gonna go speed HP, you know, the very basic, nothing too crazy, and you know, to each their own. In terms of PvE, I actually think that's where she shines the most, mainly because, you know, like I said, the way her kit works, it's very disruptive. She can just interject, get a defense break, your team gets their turn, and then you just keep going. And we all know how, you know, Smilegate loves to make their PvE content. They make the bosses immune to immunity and debuffs while having immunity and just all of this crazy stuff. So it can get pretty crazy, and the matches can get really long and drawn out. And, you know, sometimes you're like, man, my damage isn't quite there. So I think putting her on a counter set to where she can disrupt, get that defense break, and you can kind of get a break there and really build that advantage very slowly, but it'll kind of ramp up as the match goes on. And on top of this, you know, her S3, it'll just be like, no, you don't get a buff, I'm taking away your buffs, it's my turn now. So in a way, she really shines in those long drawn out matches. I think the way people are looking at the game, it needs to kind of change in order to see how different units play different kind of roles. I think that maybe if you think more in the long term instead of just this, let me just burst you down and kill you and then get disappointed when a new unit releases, you know, the way that we're looking at this, it can make or break how we see units and how well they do. But again, everything's different. PvE content's different from PvP content, and we all know how some of these units only shine in one or the other. Some of them shine in both, but the builds need to be different for them to do that, or, you know, all these other types of things. Now, there's nothing wrong with speed HP. You want to cycle them turns. You want to outspeed your opponent. You want to get that defense buff on your S3 cycled up as much as possible. These are all very good things. I think I'm more concerned about her S1 and capitalizing on that defense break and disrupting the enemy rather than her S3, because if you keep cycling her S1 into S2, your S3 will go down innately by itself anyway. So it's it's very weird, right? Like they're both very good options, and if you choose one or the other, you are not at fault. Don't feel like there's only one right answer. This game, there are 3 stars that just wreck. So there's anything is possible in this game right now, but it is an argument that does need to be looked at a little bit more. People are looking at Alencia going, she doesn't do damage, therefore she's useless. And I'm saying the not the opposite, but more so there is more to it than just that. Because every argument that I hear is that, oh, she doesn't proc her S2 on, such and such like Charles does, and she doesn't do damage, i.e., she's not good. I think we need to, just in a way, kind of just change the way we look at the game. Just a quick little ad at last minute. I'm not saying that, Alencia is really OP or anything like that. Again, I'm just advocating for we should really take a step back, see how we look at units, and then reapply it rather than just going, do they deal damage? Yes or no, or are they really tanky? Yes or no. There's a lot more to units than just those 2 things. Now, this innately is not our fault. It is kind of Smilegate's fault, the way they built their game. What they make us care about is a reflection of how they built their game. Lastly, let's touch on some artifacts. I think Sigurd Scythe and Draco Plates are hands down just the best ones. Draco Plate allows you to deal more crit damage. If I'm not mistaken, at max it's 20 or 30% more crit damage that you get to deal to the enemy, and you reduce that amount of crit damage you take from enemies. Sigurd Scythe, when you're less than 50% HP, you heal amounts based off of the damage you deal, so it's life steal. When you're below 50%, it's really strong because Alencia is pretty tanky, second highest HP in the game, second, third, something like that. If I'm not mistaken, Dark Corvus has more HP than her, so it can get pretty dicey with artifacts. So don't feel too discouraged. I have seen a couple Daydream Joker Alencias floating around. Her damage tends to kind of look a bit more decent with that, but it was maxed out, so that takes a lot of resources. Lastly, I just want to say thank you guys. This is my first video. I'm pretty excited. That's everything I have. Hit the sub button. Don't forget to like, and I hope to see you guys again. I'm going to continue making content for you guys. I'm hoping to have the next one within the next couple days and keep the cycle going. Expect different gacha games as well playing in the background while I kind of talk about stuff. If I'm talking about a specific unit like I am now with Alencia, of course that specific game is going to be playing, but if I'm kind of just talking about gaming in general, or maybe my experiences with the game or something like that, or maybe answering questions about Japanese stuff, which I already get on Discord now, I'll be playing different gacha games, Dokkan Battle, both global Japanese, Destiny Child, the new Arc Knights, just different types of things. So thank you guys, and I'll see you guys later.